Hello everyone. This is Random Talk again, and I figured what I would do in this video is try to, I guess like what I did with the Pokemon mainline series, is try to give my best recollection of thoughts and stuff on the remakes. Um, let's see here. Because if I'm not mistaken, I think I keep saying a lot. No, that ain't it. We get this pulled up here real quick like. My best knowledge is that, let's see, when did Fire Red and Leaf Green come out? North America, September 9th, 2004. Okay, so in between Ruby, Sapphire, and Emerald, I think at the time I had a some type of magazine. It may have been some form of Nintendo Power, I can't remember, but I know it did have some like upcoming game releases, and I remember seeing one for Fire Red and Leaf Green, and I thought, oh cool, new games. I just didn't know at first I didn't know that they were going to be like a Generation 1, I guess you could say, retelling. But once I found that out, I was hyped for them, because I always did like the Kanto region, and getting to play them. I mean, yeah, I still could play them with the original cartridges, but now getting to play them on the Game Boy Advance in the how do I want to say it? I guess you could say on the Ruby and Sapphire engine, so updated pretty much. Oh, I was hyped. Oh, I was so hyped. I can't remember though if I gotten Fire Red or Leaf Green. Oh, I think it was Fire Red. Or it may have been both. I really can't remember. It's been so long. Like I said, 2004. But I remember getting one of them anyway for my birthday. And unlike before in the Kanto region, I didn't get stuff with getting cut. The introduction of the, I think it was pronounced the Sevii Isles, Sevii. That's what I'm assuming. Adding this whole new extra bit of stuff to the game. The first part of it was just like a little side quest that you did. You didn't have to do it necessarily right then, because what would happen is once you beat Blaine, and I'm not sure if it counted if you got 7 badges or not. I just, to the best of my knowledge, all you did was have to beat Blaine, and that would trigger the event to go to the Savvy Islands, which at that point was just you. There was like a mission within a mission on 1, 2, and 3 Island. And once that was done, they brought you back to Cinnabar. From there, you could then continue your journey, get the badge from Giovanni, and take on the Elite Four. After that, to go back, let's see, what was it? I know to get the National Dex, you had to get at least 60 Pokemon caught, I think it was. That might have also been the trigger to go back to the Savvy Islands 4 through 7. But there was also a different side quest on, well, one of them I think was on one island up on Mount Ember, and the other one I forget which island it was on. It was to get the Ruby and Sapphire Stone. And you, in the vanilla game, you had to get those in order to trade to Ruby and Sapphire. Since Emerald hadn't been out yet, I think once Emerald come out, you could just trade, battle, whatever. And that is an interesting point. With Emerald, when it was released, you could only trade with Emerald until you beat the Elite Four and became the champion, because they didn't want you to bring in an overpowered team and just plow through the games all willy-nilly. But this ain't about the mainline non-remakes. This is the remakes video. One thing that really bothered me, though, with Fire Red and Leaf Green, and I kind of get why they did it, was that, okay, let's take Golbat, for example. It evolves into Crobat, excuse me, with High Friendship. Well, you can get your Golbat to High Friendship before you get the National Dex, and it will start to want to evolve, but it cancels automatically. You have no say in it. And that's kind of frustrating. I think I have played a ROM hack before where whoever it was took that flag or trigger or whatever out. That way you didn't have to have the National Dex. And I think there was another ROM hack where they took out the Ruby and Sapphire Stone condition met to trade with Ruby and Sapphire. Off the top of my head, that's all I can remember for them right now. Heart Gold and Soul Silver, let's see, I went ahead and got them pulled up. March 14th, 2010. Now, if you thought my hype was high for Fire Red and Leaf Green, oh, it was even higher for shoot, I just Heart Gold and Soul Silver. There we go. As much as I like the Gen 1 games, I loved the Gen 2 games. So, whenever they were announced and released, oh, the only thing is, I think I got Soul Silver. Yeah, I got Soul Silver. A buddy of mine had Heart Gold, so I bought Soul Silver. Now, whether it was day one or not, it's been a long time. I couldn't tell you. What sucked, though, I'm going to have to take a quick drink here just a second. What sucked, though, was that the day I bought it, I had to work that night. I was on night shift, and I had to wait, counting my 8-hour shift, and the time I bought the game, I think I had to wait 10 hours before I can go back home and play it. I didn't bring my DS with me for whatever reason. I guess I hadn't thought about it. Yeah, I think what the deal was why I didn't have my DS was that I hadn't expected myself to go and buy it that night. So that's about. Let's see. Yeah, that sounds about right. Like, I don't think I had actually planned to go buy it. I think the night that I went to go buy it, I'd forgotten by that point they had released. So I think it was on my lunch break. Well, now I can't remember. It may have been my lunch break when I went and bought it. I don't know. But anyway, regardless, whenever I finally got it home and was able to start playing it, I was disappointed that they took away the female character that was in Crystal with some other girl. Oh, and for those who don't know, Gold and Silver didn't have a female character. It was Crystal and Onward. Yeah, sorry about the cut there. Well, I guess two cuts. If you noticed, the first one I thought someone had knocked, and the second time someone actually did. But anyway, yeah, I think in Heart Gold and Soul Silver they actually did have plans to have the female character from Crystal be in Heart Gold and Soul Silver, but for whatever reason they changed her to someone completely different. And I was also kind of disappointed that they took out the I don't know what theme you'd call it. It's the one where you're on the continue new game option selection. They took that out. I mean, granted, it wasn't like rocking or bopping or anything, but I mean, it was there in the originals. Why not have them there in the remakes? Nintendo. Yeah, looking back, I can't really say that I remember much. You know, like, how do I want to word it? Like, don't get me wrong, I was glad the games came out. You know, new way to play through Johto and then through Kanto. I do remember questioning why they changed, what was it called? That end of the game part where you go to challenge Red. I didn't like the change. Some people probably did. I didn't. What they done was they took pretty much in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, the first part to get to Red, the first part of the cave, it wasn't overly challenging, but I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think you did need Flash to see, but it really wasn't hard to get to where you needed to go. It was, for the most part, pretty well straightforward. In Heart Gold and Soul Silver, my best guess is they just changed it to make it more of a challenge, because you go inside a cave, you go outside the cave, you go up these rocks, down this path, and what would have taken, or I should say should have taken, maybe 10 minutes on your first try, if you didn't know where you were going and what you were doing, I think could have taken, I think it took me about half an hour to an hour just to get to where I needed to be to challenge Red. And oh boy, they made him a little bit tougher. I forget which of his Pokemon they changed, and I can't remember why. Oh, I think it was they changed his Espeon to a Lapras. I don't know. Let's see, what was next? Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Got it pulled up here. Worldwide, November 21st, 2014. When I was just as hyped for this remake as I was for Heart Gold and Soul Silver. I'm not gonna lie, I think the town was Duper Town. I forget, the one where Brawly is the second gym leader. Whenever I actually got there and paused and listened to the music, it actually brought a tear to my eye, just from the sheer, I guess, nostalgia of it. Neither of the other two remakes did that, but that one did. But just that one part. Let's see. This was also the generation that had Mega Evolutions, and a fan favorite that people were just desperately wanting was, I think it was Mega Flygon, but apparently sources say that whoever it is that draws the designs was just having like a writer's block for Mega Flygon, and it's been probably since 2014 that I've seen a comment that I remember. Well, why don't you just draw Flygon but just different? You know, just throw something at the wall and let it stick. It probably wasn't those exact words, but there you go. I don't remember. Well, hold on. I do remember. If you've watched my other video on the mainline series talking about them, where I talked about in X and Y cheating in the Latios site and the Latios site, finding out that in hindsight that this was what they were for, and how you could, whichever version you were playing, you got that either Latios or Latios pretty early. And by pretty early, I mean after you beat, was it Watson? No, Flannery. Yeah, you just beat Flannery. No, 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 no. Norman. You just beat Norman because he's the fifth gym leader, and you were going to the sixth, which is Winona. Winona. I don't know. I've always just said Winona. You get stopped by Steven Stone. I don't know how he knows, but apparently he knows that that Lottie, is in trouble somehow. Oh, I think the other one comes and's like, somehow Steven's able to telepathically read its mind to know what to do. But yeah, once you actually got that specific Lottie, I call him that. Well, it used to, but you used its mega to fly around the map, like free roam flying. You could fly all around Hoenn. Once you actually visited other places, you could fly there. And then how they done the legendaries, doing the random pop-up little places you could fly to. Not all the time. It was they would pop in, you'd go in, try to catch legendary, and then I think they would pop out, something like that. I don't remember too much about them. I think I did have an easier time with the Elite Four. I think. Oh, and this is something I meant to mention in my mainline series video on Emerald. I don't know why I didn't think of it, but correction, I had thought of it. I meant to mention it, but I forgot it. What I didn't know at the time was that in Emerald version, after you beat the champion, Champion Wallace, since, let's see, they changed the 8th gym leader, and they changed the champion, and Steven was an optional secret boss, super boss. I didn't know about that. And whenever I did find out, it's no wonder why. Because, like Red, who was tucked away up in a mountain somewhere that you have to go and find, Steven was pretty much the same way. By the time Gen 3 came out, and by proxy, Hoenn and Gen 6, I didn't want to bother with caves. Once I done what I had to do to get through one, if I needed to go to the next town over, I was done with caves. Or if I absolutely had to, is repels. This is a map. This is where I need to go to get through to where I need to go, and that's it. Let's see. The next one would be Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. My hype for it was not as high as for Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. I don't know why, because I liked Gen 4, I liked the Sinnoh region. But for whatever reason, whenever they were announced, it was like, well, let me put it this way, I had a momentary bit of hype, but within probably just a couple minutes, it went down. So they come out. I bought Brilliant Diamond first. I got Shining Pearl later. Yeah, I'm glad my hype wasn't too high with it, because there was, if you want to look at it this way, it's basically just a one-to-one recreation with not really anything new added. Now the previous remakes, you know, they had. Well, I don't think Heart Gold and Soul Silver had anything like new added, but not that I can remember off the top of my head. But like with Fire Red and Leaf Green, you had the Sevi Owl, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire. Yeah, sure, you had Mega Evolutions, but they, I know they was more packed into them. Oh, and the Delta episode. Yeah, see, I knew I was forgetting something, but Heart Gold, Soul Silver, I don't think they had. They had following Pokemon. Not seen since Yellow with Pikachu. I really don't remember anything new being added. I'm sure there was something. Oh, they altered the Ho-Oh Lugia thing. I thought it was aggravating myself. To go on to that real quick, like, in Gold, Silver, and Crystal, you didn't have to catch Lugia or Ho-Oh at all. You could go the whole game not knowing they even exist. And Heart Gold and Soul Silver, they force you to go get them, like they do with legendaries in the modern games. They force you to go get them. Going to the Whirl Islands and going down to get Lugia was a headache and a half. I hated having to try and go and get Lugia. Hated it. I'd rather try and go get Ho-Oh. But anyway, with Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl, now, like I said, it's you might as well just say a one-to-one recreation. And a big pet peeve, and not just mine, they took out I wouldn't necessarily say it's a key feature, but it was a fan favorite feature, and that was the underground. Okay, the way it was in Diamond, Pearl, and Platinum was you went underground. If anyone else with the games were nearby, you could some type of like a precursor to Street Pass, except they would actually show up in your underground. There were traps you could set, there were secret bases you could make, you could decorate your bases, and not just with those stupid statues. You had pretty much like what it was in Generation 3 with secret bases. I think there were dolls, tables, PC, there was Capture the Flag. I think that was about it, but it was fun. It was fun. In Brilliant Diamond Shining Pearl, they took all that away for some stupid statues of various Pokemon. That way you can increase your odds of finding Pokemon of whatever type majority of statues you got in your secret base. That's not fun. See, I don't even have any words for that. Well, except for it was just stupid. Oh, you know what? I'm actually forgetting a remake. What the ones on Switch for Kanto. The Let's Go games. Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. Yeah, it's alright. It was nice taking a 3D imagined trip through Kanto again. The how they done the wild battles was interesting. You couldn't even really call them battles. It was just wild catching. It was interesting. What I found though was that when it came to if you were using just the like if you had your Switch hooked up to the TV, the way you would do it is oh, and that's another thing. You only use one Joy-Con. That's it. Which I guess for if you had someone else join you in the game, I'll get to that in a minute. Um, it was easier, but what you done anyway was when you were in a wild catching is what I'm going to call it. You would take if you had a whichever one of your Pokeball, Great Ball, whatever selected, you would take and swing the I called it the Wiimote, the Joy-Con, and that would throw the ball in the game. There were times that was so inaccurate for me because I could clearly be doing it straight, straight ahead. And sometimes it would go straight ahead, sometimes it would veer off this way, sometimes it would veer off that way. And Lord help you if the Pokemon was one of those bouncing ones that are the ones that move side to side. Because if you got one over here or over here, and you're trying to do this, more often than not you're going to miss, at least in my case. I didn't like that part of it. But now, like I was saying though, with the 2-player, if you got your Switch hooked up to the TV, docked, you're using one Joy-Con, you can give someone else the other Joy-Con, and they can take control of the other hero character, whatever their names are, I don't know. And pretty much all it done. Now, in wild catching, yes, I'm sticking with that. Yes, they did use your stock of balls and items and whatever to catch a Pokemon, but if you both got your timing correct and got the ball on the Pokemon, I guess you'd call it like a critical capture, something like that. It helped a little, not always. And in a trainer battle, you would have, basically they could use any 3 of your Pokemon, so it's basically you 2 against one opponent. So taking an already easy game and making it easier. But I digress. I remember whenever I got it, I didn't get my Switch day one. I think I waited until hold on, let me check something here, because I am curious. Come on, load faster. Okay, so they were released November 15th, 2018, according to Wikipedia. So that's... Okay, so like I said, November 18th, and the Switch... When did it release? I know it was 2017. Come on, load faster. Release date March 3rd, 2017. So well over a year before I got a Switch, because I just wasn't interested. Yeah, I thought it was a cool idea, but it's like all the games that I was hearing people talking about that were going to be coming to the Switch weren't catching my interest. I was like, okay, it's Nintendo's newest console. They're going to release a Pokemon game on it eventually. And when they did, I think even then I waited probably another couple of months before I got the Switch, and I think it was Let's Go Eevee. It sounds about right. Yeah, I think that's all I've got for now. Yeah, oh, the Pokeball Plus thing, Pro Plus, whatever they called it, was basically a separate peripheral, and to my knowledge, it only works for the Let's Go games. Basically, a Pokeball shaped Joy-Con, you might as well say, and I cannot remember if it was $50 or 40. It might have been 100. And its gimmick was, but besides being Pokeball shaped, was, hey, if you get it, you get a free Mew. It wasn't worth it to me. It wasn't. I mean, there were times I would kind of bounce the idea around in my head. I was like, well, I could get a Mew, but I like Mew, but the price just isn't clicking with me. So I never did pull the trigger on it. Said, pardon my French, I said to hell with it. They wasn't getting my money off of that. If Let's Go had been like the older games and I could do so, I would have just hacked in a Mew myself. That's how I did it for all the 3DS and DS and Game Boy Advance, Game Boy Color, and Game Boy games. Going back through, that's how I did it then. If I could do it now, I would. I know I've said it before in my mainline talking video. But, yeah, I think that's it for now on the remakes. At least all I can remember. I didn't really take time and write down everything I can remember, because if I did, my paper would have been a jumbled mess. I'd been going here, just trying to get information about one set of games at a time. But yeah, this is before I end the video, I am working on another one. I've got some notes over here off to my side. I don't want to say yet what it'll be. I'd probably drop a little hint. Ship related. Pre-World War II ship. Actually, now that I think about it, even pre-World War One. Yeah, don't know when that'll be out. I'm slowly but surely working on it. It may not even be the next video. I may have something else later on that I may go, ooh, while this is in the works, I'll do this. But anyway, this has been Random Talk. I think that's my channel name. You would think by now that I would remember it. Yes, according to YouTube, that is it. Random Talk. Signing out. Have a good figures I'd mess up the outro. Excuse me. Have a good night, rest of your day, wherever it is you live, and see you in the next one.